The military rulers of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso have signed a mutual defence pact. The Alliance of Sahel States agreement commits the three to assist each other in case of an external attack. Now, that could include an intervention like the one threatened by West African states against Niger's Junta following its coup in July.
Officials came together in Mali's capital to sign a deal that looks set to complicate efforts to restore democracy in Africa's Sahel region. Mali's foreign minister made clear what the pact entailed.
Toute atteinte à la souveraineté.
Any attack on the sovereignty and territorial integrity of one or more of the signatories will be considered aggression against the others, and it will entail a duty of assistance and relief on the part of all signatories.
The three former French colonies have each undergone military coups since 2020. Niger's was the most recent. Here, soldiers ousted the democratically elected president in July. While many Nigerians have rallied in support of the country's new military rulers, the junta has been condemned by the Economic Community of West African States. The ECOWAS regional bloc has threatened to intervene militarily to restore civilian rule, although it's still in talks with the coup leaders. Under the new pact, any attack could trigger a wider regional conflict. Relations with former colonial ruler France, which had close ties with the overthrown government, have also plunged to new lows. Niger's junta has demanded the departure of French troops stationed in the country. The French ambassador has also been ordered to leave, but Paris has dug in its heels, saying it doesn't recognize the junta's authority and is accusing it of blocking supplies to the French embassy, equating that to being held hostage. Fellow alliance members Burkina Faso and Mali also ordered French soldiers out after their coups in 2022 and 2021, after years battling jihadist insurgents with limited success. Now the three military governments are hoping that together they'll be able to bring the situation within their shared borders under control without Western aid.
And for more, we're crossing over to correspondent Olisa Chukwuma, who is following the developments from Lagos in Nigeria. Good to have you with us. So please tell us, a pact between three military juntas which are not recognized by their regional neighbors. Does that make any sense? Does this have any meaning at all?
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because right now we know that there has been a split in the region, especially since the events of the July 26 coup in Niger, where ECOWAS did threaten military intervention, and not every country was in support of it, particularly the junta-led countries of Mali and Burkina Faso. Now they've gone a step further to make that official by forming what many have called their own mini regional bloc within ECOWAS or without ECOWAS. Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, all three, under military juntas, signing what they've called a security pact, what they've called the Sahel Alliance. It remains to be seen how seriously ECOWAS might take this. But one thing's for sure, it's an interesting turn of events in West Africa right now with these three countries.
And indeed, I mean, you mentioned that they sort of now have their own bloc alongside ECOWAS, or is this alliance even an anti-ECOWAS pact?
Well, some analysts might put it that way, that it looks like it's a way to rebuff any sentiments coming from ECOWAS. Don't forget that ECOWAS have maintained that military intervention is on the table for Niger. Now, they've gone on to say that with this pact, that any external threats on one member would ostensibly mean a threat to the other two members involved. So that basically is perhaps a red flag to ECOWAS to basically stay away.
Right. I mean, in Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, there has been some support for the military coups because of strong sentiments against France, the former colonial power. Will France have to give up its influence in the region?
Well, Well, that's what many are waiting to see. France clearly already kicked out militaristically in Mali and Burkina Faso. In terms of cultural relations, you might say they still have a bit of ties, but when it comes to Niger, that is where it's getting frosty. And now we do hear that, France clearly might perhaps try to pull out their troops on some sort, but they've also had this diplomatic spat about the French ambassador already expelled by Niger, but yet to leave by France. So that influence is waning definitely in the African region with the former French colonies. But will France be completely erased from these countries? I think that is the big question right now.
And just very briefly, because French and other Western troops, of course, have been helping in the fight against the Islamist insurgency in the Sahel zone. Will Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso be able to handle that by themselves now?
Many analysts, especially when it comes to security, might not really agree with that, because we have seen, especially since we heard about the partial withdrawal of these UN troops, MINUSA troops, they have been increased attacks.
Thank you so much.